we have number 11 here in Jamb 2025 maths. This is variation. So this is partial variation. Y is partly constant. So let us go to this here. Solution number 11. Y is partly constant. So we have two constants there. Is equals to the first constant, A, is left alone without anything. Is partly constant. Let's use A as the first constant. Plus partly varies as x. So the second constant will be together with x. So when x is 3, so y is 7. So we have y as 7 here. So we are going to look for the constants A and B. So we have A plus x here is 3. So we have 3b. This is equation 1. So when x is 5, y is 11. So you have, remember y started here, we have 11 is equals to A plus x is 5. 5 times b is 5b, equation 2. So you subtract, because this A and A, they have the same constant. So the same constant coefficient. So let's go, 7 minus 11 will give us minus 4 is equals to A minus A is 0. 3b minus 5b is minus 2b. Divide both sides by minus 2. Minus will cancel minus. Therefore, our b is equals to 4 divided by 2 is 2. So go to any of the equation and substitute b there to get the value of a. So let's use equation 1. In equation 1, we have 7 is equals to a plus 3b. So 7 is equals to a plus 3 brackets 2. 7 equal to a plus 3 times 2 is 6. You collect like them. So we have 7 minus 6 is equals to a. 7 minus 6 is 1. So our a is 1, our b is 2. 1, 2. So be careful of the order. 1 and 2. So option B is the answer. We'll go to number 12. The average of something is equals to sum over number of the items there. So take note of that. So we have average of 15 iron bars is this. If the heaviest, so to get the total weight. So in this scenario, let's use total weight here. So total weight, since we are giving average is 15. So 15 times number of them. That is when you cross multiply. So we have 15 times 100 kg. 15 is the number of iron bars there. Then 1000 is the average. So we have 15 times 1000 will give you 15,000 kg. Then if the heaviest iron bar is removed means you are going to subtract the average weight. So let's subtract. Is removed, the average weight is reduced by 5 kg. So let's go to this place here. Remember that the average is 1000. So the new average now is equals to 1000 minus 5 will give you 995. So this is the new average. Then is reduced. Find the number. If one is reduced, it means that we have 14 iron bars remaining. So for us to get the new total is equals to 14 times 995, which will give us 13930 kilogram. 13930 kilogram. Then find the weight of the heaviest bar. So to get the weight is the total weight minus the new total. So which is the total weight is 15,000 minus 13,930, which should give us 1070 kilogram. Option C. Then number 13, we have find the sum of the entries in the inverse of, this is 2 by 2 matrix. First of all, what is the formula for inverse of 2 by 2 matrix? 1 over A. Let's call here. Let me bring it here. So how do you get the inverse? 1 over determinant. This times this minus this times this. So 1 times 5 is 5 minus 2 times 3 is 6. Then put a bracket. You interchange this leading diagonal. 5 will come up, while 1 will come down. So I have 5 here. I have 1 here. Then coming to here, this other 1 will remain the same, but you multiply by minus. So this one will be minus 3 minus 2. Minus 3 minus 2. So it's equals to 1 over 5 minus 6 is minus 1, bracket 5, minus 3, minus 2, and 1. Then 1 divided by minus 1 is minus 1, 5, minus 3, minus 2, 1. This minus 1 will multiply each of the items there, or elements there. So we have minus 1 times 5 is minus 5, minus 1 times minus 2 is plus 2, minus 1 times minus 3 is plus 3, minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. This is the answer, but look at what they told us. The sum of the entries means that we should add all these items here. So we have the sum is equals to minus 5 plus 2 plus 3 plus minus 1. Minus 5 plus 2 is minus 3. Minus 3 plus 3 is 0. 0 plus minus 1 is minus 1. So the answer is minus 1. Then we have number 14 there. Variation. A varies directly. So A is equals to introduce a constant as b squared. So we have b squared here. So we first of all have to get the value of the constant. Our A is given as 4. 4 is equals to k bracket b is given as 1. 1 square. 1 square is 1. 1 times k is k. So our k is 4. Then you go back to this place and replace this k with what you got here, which is 4. So 4b squared. This is the formula or relationship we are going to use to get the other question that will follow. So going to here, we have find a when b is 2. Find a when b is 2 means that a is equals to 4 bracket 2 squared. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is times 4. So the answer is 16. So option C. Then we have number 15 here. If I is a 2 by 2 identity matrix, 2 by 2 identity matrix always look like this: 1 0 0 1. This is 2 by 2 identity matrix. Then find the determinant of the matrix. Remember, we saw something about determinant here. So this times this minus this times this. So determinant of this identity 2 by 2 matrix is equals to 1 times 1 is 1, minus 0 times 0 is 0, 1 minus 0 is 1. Option A. So that is how to go about this. Thank you.